Hey, 42 here. Today we're talking about something with a case fatality rate that makes COVID look like a common cold. Hantavirus. Hantavirus is a family of viruses carried by rodents. Dozens of strains. Every continent except Australia. Each one carried by a specific rodent. Deer mice. Cotton rats. Norway rats. You don't catch it from people. You catch it from the environment. Rodent droppings. Out. Urine. Saliva. Dotty. When those dry out, the virus gets aerosolized. You breathe it in. That's it. That's all it takes. Well, there's exactly one exception. Hantavirus in South America. A 2019 study documented a guy in Argentina who caught it from his girlfriend. One case in the entire history of the disease. Unless his girlfriend is anything like my wife and pretends to be asleep as soon as we get in bed, then it's probably an STD. Some mouse took a piss in your attic 4 months ago. You walk in, disturb the dust, breathe in a virus with a 38% chance of killing you. 1 in 3. Spanish flu was 2.5% what now. Ebola is around 50%. Hantavirus, it's right in between. And here's what kills you. Not the exposure, the weight. Symptoms don't start for 1 to 8 weeks. You feel fine. You go to work. You hug your kids. You have no idea. By the time you get a headache, by the time the fever hits, the virus has already been replicating inside you for weeks. You can't trace where you got it. You don't know if it was the shed last Tuesday or the cabin 2 weeks before that. You just get sick and have no idea why. Then it moves fast. Fever. Headache. Muscle aches. You think it's the flu. Then your lungs fill with fluid and you drown in your own body. From flu to intubation can happen in hours. There is no antiviral. No cure. Doctors put you on a ventilator and hope. His name was Ligma Boles. Retired. Lived near Yosemite. August 2012. He spent a Saturday cleaning out his garage. Swept the whole thing. Old sawdust, mouse droppings, dust that had been sitting there since winter. Didn't wear a mask. Why would he? It was his garage. That night he told his wife he felt like he was getting the flu. Achy. Tired. Probably pushed himself too hard in the heat. He went to bed. He never woke up. The coroner found sin nombre Hantavirus. Deer mice had been living in the wall behind his workbench all winter. Their droppings had dried out over months. The moment Ligma swept that floor, he turned his garage into a gas chamber. Invisible. Odorless. 1 breath was enough. His wife remembered he'd mentioned seeing a mouse a few weeks earlier. He'd set a trap. Forgot about it. Ligma Boles did nothing wrong. He swept his garage on a Saturday afternoon like a million other people do every weekend. He was dead by Monday. He was one of 10 people who got hantavirus that summer in Yosemite. 3 of them died. The Park Service had to notify 10,000 guests they might have been exposed. 10,000 people who had just been on vacation. Here's the part nobody tells you. The outbreaks are getting more frequent, and it's not random. Hantavirus spikes after wet winters. More rain means more plants. More plants means more mice. More mice means more virus. 1993. 4 Corners had an unusually wet spring. Deer mouse population exploded. Sin nombre spilled over into humans for the first time. 2012. Same pattern before Yosemite. As climate shifts, wet winters are becoming more common in the western United States. The deer mouse population is expanding its range. Hantavirus is following it. This is not a virus from the past. It's a virus that's coming. The first documented outbreak was Korea, 1951, und troops along the 38th parallel. Thousands sick. Hundreds dead. They called it Korean hemorrhagic fever and had no idea what caused it. 25 years later, researchers found the virus in a mouse near the Hantavirus River. Named it after the river. Then found it everywhere. Scandinavia died. China. Eventually every rodent-carrying continent on Earth. 1993. Four Corners. A young Navajo man collapses and dies. His fiancée dies days later. D. Healthy young adults drowning in their own lung fluid. The CDC sent samples to Fort Detrick. They found a new hantavirus nobody had ever seen. Named it Sin Nombre. Without name. The host was the deer mouse. One of the most common rodents in North America. Lives in your garage. In your walls. Now here's the part that should make you uncomfortable. The same molecular tools that diagnose hantavirus can also rebuild it. PCR, polymerase chain reaction, is the same technology used to develop the COVID vaccine. It copies and amplifies DNA. But the same process that builds a vaccine can also be used to engineer a virus. Reverse genetics lets you run the whole thing backwards and create a pathogen from scratch in a lab. 2017. DARPA launched the Pandemic Prevention Platform. Goal: create a new vaccine in 60 days. The same platform can create new viruses. 2021. EcoHealth Alliance published research stitching together a chimera coronavirus. Parts of different viruses combined into something that didn't exist in nature. Gain of function. They did it with coronaviruses. The question nobody is asking is, who's doing it with hantaviruses? 2025. Moderna announced a preclinical hantavirus vaccine. mRNA platform. Same lipid nanoparticles as COVID. Why do you need a vaccine for a virus that doesn't spread between people? I'm not saying anyone engineered hantavirus. I'm not saying Moderna is building a bioweapon. I'm saying the infrastructure exists. The technology is mature. Hantavirus has a 38% fatality rate. A version that spreads through the air like measles doesn't exist in nature. But the tools to make it have existed for over a decade. The question is not whether it's possible. The question is whether anyone is asking. There is no evidence anyone has created a weaponized hantavirus. The outbreaks have all been natural spillovers driven by weather in mice. Mundane and real. But hantavirus kills 1 in 3 people. It's carried by the most common rodent in North America. And the delay means that by the time you know you have it, there's almost nothing anyone can do. Before you go, here's what you actually do. If you're cleaning a space that might have had rodents, a garage, a shed, a cabin, open every window and door, and let it air out for at least 30 minutes before you touch anything. Don't sweep. Don't vacuum. Sweeping aerosols is everything. Vacuuming shoots it into the air. Wet the area first. Spray it down with a bleach solution. Let it soak. Then wipe it up with paper towels. Bag the towels. Done. Wear a 95 if you have one. Not a surgical mask. 985. Ligma Boles swept his garage on a Saturday. He didn't know. Now you do. 42 out.